As some of you might have noticed, English is not my first language. However, from an early age, my parents wanted me to learn the language and forced me to take English classes. Something I'm grateful for now, but I hated it back then. I took countless courses in different academies, and despite every second of it, I just didn't get it. I paid attention, I did my homework, sometimes, and I tried to read the books, but I just couldn't understand English very well. The most frustrating part was watching my classmates improve while I was left behind. My main problem was that no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't think in English. Everything I wanted to say, read or write, I had to do it first in my native language, try to remember all the rules of the English grammar, and then translate it in my mind. That was a lot of work and took some time. And I knew that thinking in one language and then translating it to another was the wrong approach. But that was the only way I could rationalize it. After all, I only knew one language, so how else was I supposed to do it? And that's when it hit me. I do know another language, one that I've been using to understand English for most of my life. The language of video games. From where I'm from, most electronics are imported from the United States, so all software, including video games, were in English with no option to change the language. So since I've been an avid video game player for as long as I can remember, I had to adapt and figure things out on my own. When a game told me to jump because an enemy is coming, common sense told me that I had to avoid the danger, so I pressed the jump button. So I learned what jump meant. Even when the game gave me detailed instructions of what to do and I couldn't understand any of it, with time I ended up figuring things out and finishing the game. Understanding what the goal of the game was and how to achieve it became second nature to me. My love for video games broke the language barrier for me. I still remember the day it all started to make sense to me. I was in the middle of an English test. Part of the assignment was to name some body parts and pieces of clothing highlighted in a picture. I was seriously drawing a blank, so I started daydreaming about what I would rather be doing. And then I started thinking about creating a new character in a game I was playing, changing the belt color, customizing the hat, putting a cool dragon tattoo on the back, and wait a second. I know what all of those words mean. I've been using them all this time. From that moment on, something just clicked, and English became so much easier to me. I might still have problems with pronunciations, but nowadays I find myself thinking in English very often. This helped me realize how good game design is able to tell you what to do without the need for you to understand the language in which the game was written in, so long as you understand how to play games. Video games have their own language, one that you also have to learn. If you're a gamer, it's probably very easy for you to jump from game to game, no matter the console or the genre of the game. You might not be good at all of them, but you understand them very quickly. It's just a matter of learning what button does what and you're good to go. I had a friend that could finish RPGs that were in Japanese, without understanding a single word of it. For the people who don't know, RPGs or role-playing games are the type of game where you have to do quest after quest, sometimes following very detailed and complicated instructions. And this was all before game guides online were a thing, so he just barred through it, following game logic and having patience. Compare that to people that have no background in video games. Notice how difficult it is for them to just move and look around in a first-person shooter, or to remember that you can pause the game at any time by just pressing a button. It doesn't matter how many times someone explains it to them, they seem to have a hard time with very basic stuff. It's like you are speaking a foreign language to them. And well, that's because you are. So if you're trying to teach someone how to play a game, have a little more patience. It's not as easy for them as it is for you. But don't get me wrong, even though I credit video games for making me understand English, the classes I took were necessary for me to learn grammar and also gave me a platform in which I could practice my English, which is very important. And even though playing video games was what did it for me, I'm not suggesting you go out and buy a new console, put it in a foreign language and grind it out until you can speak it. Everyone has a different way of learning. What might have worked for me might not work for you. But I believe that finding that connection between something you already enjoy and something you want to learn is the key. Nowadays, you have amazing resources to help you learn a new language. There's apps, websites, online courses, etc. But other examples I found for helping you learn are to put a movie you already seen in a foreign language with subtitles.
Ya sé Kung Fu. Muéstrame. Es un programa virtual.
Or start watching foreign movies.
Pero ¿y esto qué coño es?
No soporto la sangre.
Also, you can put your phone in another language. You already know how to operate it, so you won't get confused using it. And of course, one of the best ways to learn a new language is having someone who speaks it help you with it. So if you get one of those, awesome. How about you? Do you speak more than one language? What unusual ways of learning have you found to work for you? And if you're a gamer, what games have you been playing lately? Lately, I've been replaying all the Kingdom Hearts games, waiting for the release of Kingdom Hearts 3. Leave your answers in the comments and see you next time.